I usually think, I'm a new person for tomorrow. A terrible thought. Practice shows that the one who believes so is the one who cannot give up the bad habit. But it's not your fault. The fault is the system. The system made bad habits inevitable and good habits impossible. But how exactly did this happen? I once did a curious experiment. A habit is an action that is repeated so many times that it becomes automatic. I decided to artificially form a new habit. The habit of keeping receipts after purchases. Every time I stood in the store at the checkout, I deliberately thought about it, and super carefully watched my hand as she takes the check from the coin box and puts it in her right back pocket in jeans. 3 times was enough for me, and my hand began to collect checks on autopilot. A month later, I was horrified to find that my entire apartment was littered with a huge pile of receipts. Perhaps someone will think that I am doing something stupid. But just imagine what will happen if, in this way, gradually, one by one, you create 300 good habits at once. Imagine how fast they will move you towards your goal. James Clear did just that. He started blogging and grew from 1,000 subscribers to 30,000 in a year. He did not stop and continued to consistently publish 2 articles a week. And the next year, he gained another 100,000 subscribers. And a year later, the number of subscribers reached 200,000. With the growth of the audience, his opportunities and business connections grew. And the articles of James Clear began to be published by authoritative media. More than 8 million people have read it in Time magazine and Forbes. As a result, he wrote the book Atomic Habits, which became a bestseller. But the most interesting thing is that when Clear was just starting, he didn't set himself such a goal. He didn't think about the goal at all. But then how did he manage? The problem is that we are setting too big goals. And it seems to us that it is imperative to make a titanic effort. But this is a trap. The power is in tiny changes. The brain resists drastic changes. And the hands fall. Small changes only seem unimportant, but they are the ones that lead to big results. But why is our thinking distorted? Why don't we see it right away? What prevents long-distance thinking? Bamboo is invisible in the first 5 years of life, but while it is not visible, roots are formed underground, and then in just 40 days it grows 22 meters. The fact is that we all live in the moment. We rarely think about the distant future because it is uncertain, and right before our eyes the picture is clearer. This is why small changes seem pointless. For instance, if I once refrain from a pointless purchase, then I will not become richer. After 3 visits to the gym, a good figure will not appear. You cannot master a foreign language if you spend only an hour. However, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with 1 step. It doesn't matter how successful you are now, the main thing is the trajectory of the movement. A 1% change is not noticeable. Therefore, we do not see results for a long time, and we abandon business halfway. But the action is cumulative. And if you continue, do not stop, then in a year, the effect of the delayed result will work. You will have fantastic consequences. It will happen unexpectedly. And inevitable, like a volcanic eruption. Jacob Riis said an interesting phrase. When it seems to me that nothing can help, I go and look at the stonecutter who hits the stone hundreds of times. And not a single crack appears. But when the 101st blow splits the stone in 2, I understand that it was not the last blow that broke the stone, but all those that came before it. Jacob Riis, fighter against social inequality. We are not in control of our habits. And often we are not even aware of our strange actions. But how do you get rid of bad habits then? The first step is to become aware of them. Notice. For example, you did the right actions all day, but at some point, for some reason, you ate a kilogram of sweets. Something went wrong. It was not part of your plans. Means something provoked. Something that sits in your head and automatically works every time. For example, you suddenly wanted alcohol, although there is no holiday. Why? each time asking myself the question why? You are penetrating deeper and deeper into your subconscious. As a detective, you will find bad habits on the evidence. Questions activate logical thinking, like lawyers. And how will you get to the deepest parts of your brain, to those places where you have never been, and decompose all your bad habits to atoms? But the real miracles will happen when you gradually begin to become overgrown with good habits. No action is taken in isolation from others. This is a new phase where you begin to build up good habits on top of each other. For example, let's say you've trained yourself to run every day. But now you have to learn to get up early. To make things easier, you superimpose these habits on top of each other. Start running in the morning. It is much easier for you to get up early now because there is a reason for that. Some habits attract others. Everything seems simple, but many cannot stand it and return to the starting point. Why do so many people give up half the way? The secret is to always finish early. For example, you went running. At some point, you got a taste, you feel freshness and lightness in your body. I would like more, but you need to stop. Stop at the most pleasant moment. And do it always. And gradually, this habit will begin to be associated with pleasure. I hope you learned something from this video. Don't forget to press the like and subscribe button, and until next time, success!